beings, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carla. I'm a holistic nutritionist and conscious content creator. You can expect all things holistic wellness on this channel. First things first, I need to have a moment and vent with y'all because yesterday, when I tell you Mercury retrograde came for your girl, yesterday was supposed to be the smooth sailing day. I had all the plans in the world to execute the video exactly the way I wanted to. And I'm setting up my camera. All of a sudden, my camera falls all the way from the countertop in the kitchen to the floor. Needless to say, that camera is no longer working. I had a whole emotional breakdown yesterday. I literally texted my boyfriend and I was like, all I want to do is nap and cry. That's all I have the energy for right now. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna let myself sulk in these feelings for the next hour, and that's exactly what I did. And then I pushed through and I was like, you know what? It's not the end of the world. Thankfully, I have an iPhone that works perfectly fine. That is what I recorded all of my recipes on yesterday and all the content you're about to see. All that to say, if you are currently going through a period where you feel like you're struggling, Mercury is coming for you. There's also a full moon in Cancer, which really heightens our emotions and our sensitivity. So there's a lot going on in the planetary realm. But you know what? I am right here with you. You are not alone. If you need to take that nap, girl, take that nap. If you need to cry, cry it out. If you need to just lay in bed and not do shit, please give yourself the gift of not doing shit. Because sometimes that's the answer to our problems. Just saying. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys what I typically eat in a day to support my gut health and my gut microbiome as best I can. Gut health is so much more beyond just what we eat. It really is so intrinsically linked to our mental health as well as our skin's health and even our emotional state. Our gut microbiome is also responsible for our immune system, so it is so crucial to make sure that we're eating a diversity of plant foods. That is probably the #1 way to support your gut microbiome, and also just being mindful of the state that we're in when we're eating. Our emotional and our mental state really dictates how our food is digested and how our body processes and assimilates the food that we eat. It's really important to be mindful of not being in a flight or fight mode when we're eating. And honey, you can take all the probiotics in the world, eat all the fermented foods, but if you're in a state where you're stressed or you're anxious or you're extremely sad when you're sitting down to eat a meal, your body isn't even gonna be able to assimilate and properly absorb all of those vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that the food actually has to offer. Also, something that everyone can start doing immediately to support their gut health is drinking more water. We as humans need to make sure that we're making water intake a priority. We need our organs to function optimally, and that is by making sure that we're hydrated enough, we're getting enough blood flow, we're making sure that we're flushing out all of those toxins and everything that doesn't serve us within. There is almost always a connection between someone who gets sick really often and poor gut health. The good news is that we have free will and we have choice, and we can start doing things today and right now that make sure that we're giving our gut some good loving. So without further ado, let's get into some things that I like to eat in a day to support my gut health. I've had the craziest obsession with bagels lately. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the hype is real. I have a really big appetite in the mornings, and this tends to hit the spot. Scooping out my bagel because that's my business. And into the toaster oven she goes. While that's toasting, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some red onion. Red onions are actually a very good source of prebiotics, which feed the healthy gut bacteria, and that's what we want. Fun fact, humans are actually comprised of more bacteria than we are human cells. We have trillions and trillions of bacteria living inside our gut microbiome, so it only makes sense to create the right conditions and environment for those bacteria to thrive. Microgreens are one of those foods that I always have in my fridge. They're one of my favorite ways to supplement my body with essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients like copper, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin A. In my last What I Eat in a Day video, I mentioned the importance of fermented foods like sauerkraut and how important of a role it plays in our gut health. I strive to have at least 1 to 2 servings a day of fermented foods, whether that's sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, basically anything that's fermented. For lunch, I've been reaching for this delicious, nutritious kale salad. I don't know, there's something about a good, hearty salad that just makes my day and makes my being and my spirit feel so nourished. I also just love the process of prepping a salad. You can add so many different ingredients to it, and it's just a good time to practice presence and intentionality and infusing your food with love. Massaging your kale helps to soften it up and honestly just makes it a lot more enjoyable. It's also easier to digest this way. After I rinse it off, I like adding a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some lemon juice. This really just takes it to the next level and makes for a good base. Next, I'm adding in some chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans, and these are a really good source of plant protein. I love adding these to my salad. Do you guys also clean as you go? Because I literally cannot tolerate any mess. Even when I'm cooking, I'm always cleaning up in between little steps. I don't know, if I'm alone, maybe I'm weird, but if you're the same way, drop a comment below. Next, I'm adding in some cherry tomatoes, and that's on diversifying our diets, okay? We love to eat the rainbow on this side. And now my favorite part is making the dressing. The key to any good salad is making sure that your dressing is on point. I personally really enjoy Asian-inspired cuisines, so I'm making my own version of my favorite Asian dressing. First, I'm going in with some tahini, then adding in some tamari, which is basically gluten-free soy sauce, sriracha because I'm a hot girl, garlic powder, ginger powder, and a squeeze of lemon juice. Mixing that all together, and then once I get the consistency I want, I add in a little bit of honey. I put some beets in the oven to snack on later. Red beets are an incredible source of iron, and I like to snack on these whenever I'm on my moon, aka my period. Cannot forget the healthy fat. This avocado was a beauty. Then I'm adding in some fresh cilantro, aka coriander. I don't know anyone who calls it that, but I digress. Cilantro is by far one of my favorite herbs, and it really just levels up any dish. The last and final step, honey, add in your dressing, have a moment of appreciation. I also like to go in and drizzle a little bit more honey over top because why not? For dinner, I'm keeping it really simple. I diced up some tofu, added that to a bowl, and adding a pretty generous amount of coconut aminos, garlic powder, onion powder, and nutritional yeast. Give it a good stir, and once it's coated evenly, I'm adding it to the air fryer for about 15 minutes on 390 degrees. While I wait for that to bake, I'm gonna cook some soba noodles. Once that's done cooking, I added some fresh chopped cilantro, this kimchi that I am absolutely obsessed with, some everything but the bagel sesame seasoning blend, and by the time that's done, my tofu is ready. A few nights ago, I made this bomb mushroom broth that has onions, garlic, ginger. I added broccoli, bok choy, and of course, oyster mushrooms. For the full recipe, check out my vegan ebook. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me in this now moment. May we remember that eating high vibrational foods is an act of self-love and self-care. Until next time, bye.